Welcome back to Project Ozone 3, and just a brief announcement, if you didn't already watch the Factorio episode previously on the channel, if you are interested in that kind of game, do take a look at Satisfactory, which is now just about to hit early access. It hits early access on the 19th, however, if you've signed up for Alpha, you will probably get a key for the open Alpha as of March 8th, which is when it opens. Okay, so while I mentioned that, and I will do a few videos on it, we'll see how well it actually performs versus Factorio and versus modded Minecraft, of course. But let's get into Project Ozone 3. So here we are with a completed build. Now, I've not built out like a huge data center yet because I don't need the storage, but there's no actual reason why you couldn't. Let me just explain from the last episode, if you didn't watch it or just briefly, we've got basically an infinitely expandable storage. Now, the way I built it, I could get another column or column of 2 on the end here, and I may well actually do that. But for now, this should demonstrate the project, the whole concept of the thing. Okay, so we've got on the inside, we've got the smart cable in white. The white is actually giving me the contents of the drive trays. So I can see if I put, let's say, can I just move you for a second? Yep. If I just put a terminal down there, which I have extra channels, that's the wrong way. Give me the terminal. Oh, why? Oh, really? Okay, fine. Can I put them on anything? Let me just actually get some regular size cable and bring that up. There we go. That's much better. So in there, I see one drive, which is what is here. Okay. Now that is connected to the backbone here. And this is using the traditional way of doing things in AE2, which is just dense cable. Dense cable has 32 channels. And you'll see at the very start here, I'm using 6, which is these 6 storage buses, which is seeing the drive trays. And then it's got 12, 18, 24, and this is 25. So if I just pop my mouse cursor down there, you'll see I'm using 25, 32 channels. And that, aside from the terminal here, is why I can get another set of 6 here. Well, another set of 6 storage buses out here if I want to. And let me just actually rearrange that, because that's almost in the right place. I should have just put it in a slightly different place. Which is to put it there. Let's pop you in place. And yes, this is just one side, but we'll then not have the interference with this, with with the extra drive base. Fine. So that's the backbone, and that just basically lets me insert drives from wherever they go in wherever this data center is once we've finished it. However, the other side of things is the more complicated bit, and this is where I've now run a cable all the way from our controller. You'll see it's only using one channel. All of that storage is in one channel. So 12 drives, 24 drives, each of them with 10, so 240 times 64K on one channel. How is that working? So out here you'll see we've got, first of all, a storage bus. So everything inside that is seen as a single bank of storage. On the other side, we've got our first interface, which is what we connect the storage bus to. And then we've got splits here. So on the inside of this, we've got 3 channels being used. And that's just due to the way I've actually configured things at the moment. We will actually be extending that. So what we have here, this interface is 1 channel. These 2 storage buses, again, as we go further and further inwards, we're using storage buses, then an interface, storage bus, then an interface. And in each section, we're using less than 8 channels. So off it goes, storage bus interface. And we're using 3 here. So this first thing is just to connect ourselves back here, because if we add another row, we can add another row here. This will be up to 5. Add another row here, that will be up to 7. And then we put another storage bus on the end of it, and that'll be 8. So this network here, subnetwork, can deal with 3 rows of these 24 ME drives. And then we just do the standard thing inside, which is the same thing, except that now each section has another 8 channels available. So we've got 6 for each of the drive bays, 7 for the interface on one end, and 8 for the interface, the storage bus on the other end, and you repeat as needed. Now, it's basically infinite storage at this point. You can send that the way however you want. This backbone, you could do the same thing on. You don't necessarily need to use dense smart cable like this. You could set it up to do the smart cable like this. However, because each of these backbone sections connect to 6 storage buses above, you would need to have basically this sort of storage bus interface on the side of every single one of those, every single one of these columns. I don't necessarily want to do that. So I went for traditional stuff down the backbone and then the expandable stuff around the outside, and it seems to work very well. So then we connect our backbone into an ME controller. And that does mean that on the other side of the ME controller, you can send another backbone outwards for each row. And then you can, if you like, connect backbones together with ME controllers with dense cable, or indeed you can even go with the light cable and do the same thing. So well, that's about the same thing. I mean the interface storage bus trick. So you can see everything that way versus a storage bus with an interface on the other side of it. And then this controller sees the next one, to the next one, etc. down the row. And basically when you drop in your drives, they'll just drop in whichever storage, whichever ME storage we want them to. So if we just pop down now, have I got enough storage space? Almost. Let me just dump some stuff in the system. That's pretty much everything. Let me just get my backpack. And let's just grab all the drives. There we go. And we can just head upstairs. Let's see if the concept works. We can go into the backbone, drop in our drives, and they'll go wherever they want to. They've all decided to go in those 2 particular banks. We've no control over that really, but if we just go into our system, we can still see everything, which means it's all connected successfully. More importantly, we now no longer need, well, these drive bays down here. And of course we can, oops, we can't actually get rid of them with that. There we go, 2, 3. And we can then just put them into another bay up here. So if I was going to extend this, and I probably will, we can put them like this. Just so we've got the maximum amount of storage on each row, really, more than anything else. I need 2 more ME drives. Yep, there we go. Just get into a hover, and there we go. And of course, because AE2 supports, well, it has its own cover system. Can I remember what the covers are called? Are they facades? Yes, cable facade stone. So they need the cable anchors. And then you just need to basically put 4 of those around something. So if we have, let's say, white concrete, and I need a chisel because I'm running out of white concrete, I need to make some more of it. Chisel. Let's grab one out of the system, maybe? No, we don't have a chisel. I definitely have one around here somewhere, and I can never see the thing. Chisel. Still can't see it. Oh well, we'll just make a new one. Chisel. There you are, diamond chisel. And I'm probably blind, it's probably right in front of me, but you know, it's not too hard. We'll just convert this back to regular white concrete. There we go. And then we'll then put this back in here with a cable anchor. Cable anchor. And we'll just convert it all into cable facades, which we don't need the hollow version here. We can just pop them down like that. That's kind of nice, I think. What do you think? And we will, I'm not going to put them there because I need to change that, but then we've got the rows in between them, and you can do exactly the same things to the sides. So, you know, if you want to face this off, it's easy enough to do so, and quite aesthetically pleasing, I think. There you go. So you can seal them in like that if you want to, or you can seal in the whole sides, entirely up to you, however you do that. But for me, I think I like this approach than anything else, and I'm run out of white concrete again. Anyway, you get the idea. We've got a nice expandable, really large system. So we can then just tell the system to, oh, in fact, I did actually need, let me just grab, I mustn't forget this one. Can we just grab them? Yes, we can. Let's just grab 3, 4. And I want this to be, can I? I can just put it around there. That's nice. Yep. Just in case Rorax is viewing or something like that. So I don't get complaints about things not aesthetically pleasing. it looks pretty good to me. All right, a couple of comments that people had. I did forget to set this correctly on here. I was looking at the pure Certus instead of the calculation processor. I've swapped that now. And something people didn't notice, but I did actually get the problem, which is to say that on down here, these were set to never active. So they were never actually producing anything. And it's already, is it already stopped working? Have we already got 1,000 processors? No, we don't. So clearly it is not working somehow. I'm missing silicon. Silicon is provided here. And what are we looking for? We're looking for silicon less than, commitment levels are below 1,000. Okay, and then we're at, actually, I don't want to do that. I don't want to commitment levels below 1,000 because it's hit 1,000 now. So I need to look at something else. Or even not look at something at all. Interesting. I think I can actually just take this out or just make it active all the time. Because if I do that, what's going to happen is it's going to produce silicon indefinitely. That's going to go down into here. But these, when they run out of these top things, which will stop being provided by these inscribers, the printed ones that is, that will empty. And when that empties, then everything works. So we don't need that at all. We can just get rid of you. Cool, that's one extra channel we got spare. Not that I need it here, but that should continue to just start working. Yep, and there they are. They're working down below. But you can see, as you can see, that we've got plenty of processors. We'll just get it with 1,000 or probably 1,000 and then plus one stack on top for each of the processors. Nice, I like it very, very much. Now, one of the things I had problems with while I was doing this is that I wanted to make 100 dense cable. Pretty simple, you might think. 100 dense cable is not all that much. However, 100 dense cable happens to be more than 4K crafting storage can handle. If I just try and do it now, dense cable. And let's say we just take that dense cable out for a second, just so it doesn't distract. And then we say 100 and then press next. No crafting CPUs are available because 4,850 bytes will be used and we only have 4K crafting storage. So this is not enough. And in fact, we want more of them anyway. So we want to actually add those to our system. So by quantity, we'll certainly need crafting co-processing units more than anything else. And the crafting monitors aren't essential because you can always just go into your crafting terminal, click on here, and you can see what's actually going on. And when there's jobs going, you can change between them down there. So that isn't essential. And then you have crafting storage itself. So let's just take a look at 64K crafting storage. There it is. And it happens to use a 64K ME storage component, which the system already knows about. So 64K crafting storage, we'll just basically write that pattern. And then we will get a pattern for the crafting unit itself. And then we'll go into our interface terminal here and then pop these in place. So let's just pop them there and there. And you'll see I'm already running out of interfaces with my auto crafting system again. So that's the next thing we're going to actually get to. However, this thing should be able to make these now. I just need a couple more things. Crafting co-processors, of which that's a straightforward recipe as well. And in you can go. And then, is that everything? Do I want to do the crafting monitor? Yeah, not really. No, I think I'll just go for that. So if we decided we want another one of these, let's see, we want 8 crafting co-processing units at least, and then 1 64K crafting storage. We need 1 crafting storage per block, per co-processor. So if we're then going to expand this outwards, we then want 18 more to make a cube, at least a cube. So 18 plus 8, so that's 26. So we want 26 crafting co-processors. Let's craft the 64K first, shall we? So craft one of those. That can automatically start. And since that's done, we can then, or it's done now anyway, we can then ask for the co-processors. And it was 26, wasn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Let's see if it can craft them. 484 bytes. Yes, it can. And it's using processors at a rated knots, which is why we needed that automation. So off it goes and it will start producing them. 23, 22, that'll be quite fast. Okay, now that that's actually going, we'll be able to get more coprocessors running. We're going to need to think about this. This is horrible, and I'm going to be moving it very shortly once all that's finished. And what I think pretty much now is that I've got to the point where I don't need to worry about resources that much. And once I get to that point, I don't need to worry about the sharing a molecular assembler. I'd much rather have just interfaces with up to 4 molecular assemblers each. And it doesn't matter if they don't use it. I don't care. Because if I'm only crafting one thing, then yeah, whatever. So I will be able to craft interfaces, and then I will surround them with molecular assemblers. What's the most efficient way we can actually do that? Well, since the interfaces are the things that use the channels, we'll be able to create a stack of, I want to say, well, we don't need to actually do any fancy linking. So 7 or 8 interfaces will connect just fine, and we can put them on a channel, and then we can put them on some dense cable. Now I've got some white cable here. Did I make some more dense cable that isn't white? The regular smart cable stuff. We still can't make 100 of that. Let's actually just sort it out downstairs so that we can make 100 of it. So coprocessor 26. Then we want the crafting storage 24, well 64, sorry. And then we can just put them on a link like that. It's only using one channel. We can put them wherever we like, but maybe we should think about putting them around the outside of this bay. That seems reasonable. So we've got a nice open area in the middle. We've got that side with some machines for the moment. We can always move those. And that means we can probably think about putting it sort of here. And we can put the crafting storage below, or we can put the coprocessors below. I think we're just going to put these below. And then have this so that the 64K storage is here. And these are like this. Ooh, can't exactly do, well, I can do that. I just have to put the rest of the things on the back. Okay, so there we have a big cube, and we can add extra tiers to the top. And then we can just attach this however we like. So for the moment, it's going to use one channel each. So we could go 8 onto a single cable. So why not just deal with, straightforward cable. Let's just grab some Fluix cable, and we'll just pin this from the middle, I want to say. Yeah, we'll bring this up and then across. There we go, that should light up. Should get one channel. There it is. Yep, it's online. And then we don't actually need this one anymore, or rather we can move it. So we can, will those, whoops, will those, no, they won't remove with a wrench. Nice and clean. And then that will come off with a wrench. And then we'll do the same thing out here. So we only need to put these in the bottom. If we thought of thinking maybe leave about 3 spaces in between these, or we can even leave just 1 space, that will do the job just as well. And let's just build this up. And then we just need to craft the rest in the system. So I want another 64K. We don't want this existing 4K. That's no, that's not for us anymore. We want something much better. And then we want some co-processing units. So how many do we need? We need 9, 18, 19. So coprocessors. And 19, will you craft those? No crafting CPUs are available, but once the next one's available, it should be able to be made fairly shortly. Ah, it's just being finished now. There we are, so coprocessors. And 19. Great, that shouldn't take very long. Oh, I don't have the crafting display on them anymore. It sometimes helps. I'll go this way. It's not going to take very long at all, is it? No, that's been made. So let's just grab the 64K, and let's grab the coprocessors. All 19 are done. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And done. So we just need a cable for them, and we can put it wherever we want. Here we'll do just fine. Oh, we don't even need that way. Yeah, I don't like that. I like one connection per each one of these, so I'm just going to do it this way and then get rid of the cable down there. All right, so now we can deal with two simultaneous jobs, and that will work very, very well. So we're getting rid of a lot of clutter. I would also like to perhaps enclose these interface terminals in so they're nice and neat. We could put them in the roof, but I don't quite like that. I think we want to put them in one side, or maybe even one of the columns. I suppose we could change the columns to be in the middle, but that's sort of awkward and weird. So yeah, I think I'll just put an extra column there or something along those kind of lines, or a wall. Doesn't much matter. What do you guys think? Don't work really nice for them, but this'll do. And we've got a wireless charger. I need to hide that somewhere. That shouldn't be there. And elite crafting table and a high-tech bench. Good. Lots of cleaning up being done this episode. And there we go, nice and clean. I did decide to put it into one of the pillars. I quite like it actually. I've changed my mind. I thought it looks pretty good. I'm probably going to put it into the others as well, however, because I don't quite like them just being on their own like that on one particular pillar. I'll just won't remember which one to actually get to. So I think because we got a single cable inside of there, that will have up to 7 or 8 devices on it. So we have room to fill in all of these faces if we want to. And I think I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to fill in the faces with the terminals, just so on the inside of this I can go to whichever one I want and everything will work. Pretty cool and looks pretty nice. Now, next thing we're going to actually need to do this episode is get rid of these, or at least move these. So we're going to want lots of molecular assemblers. We're going to want 8 interfaces and then 4 per interface. So, obviously 32. And we need to get the system to actually make that. So molecular assemblers. We would know how to do it, so I need to just go and sort that out. Molecular. Does it know how to make everything else? Let's hope so. Let's see if it will actually do that. And let's find a slot for this, hopefully. Yes. Will you now make this if I say molecular? What if I want 2 of them? It needs some flux dust, which it doesn't. Well, it can't make automatically at the moment, but that's not hard for me to do. Let me just pop back and actually make that. We'll probably get that done automatically soon anyway. I'm going to add it to a recipe to be done in one of the machines. But hopefully once this loads, there we go, we'll just be able to grab some flux crystals from somewhere, from the system. Yeah, I've got 8,000. And do I have a pulverizer? I do. I'll just put the pulverizer here, and that will make them up. I need to also move these metallurgic infusers and other stuff, but we'll get to it. I'm slowly starting to move out of here, really. There's just our lava system is still actually running. We don't really need that anymore, but get rid of a lot if I actually get rid of that. But it's quite nice to generate lava, if not to actually consume it. How much do we have there? Well, that's quite a bit. 552,000 buckets. I think that's enough lava for anyone, don't you? And then we can get rid of a lot of this other stuff. I'm leaving the ember stuff here just in case we need it. And we've obviously got our dragon egg over there. So everything is looking pretty good for me. And let's grab some of this fluix dust. We needed 29 of it. I need to upgrade that machine. 1 second. Now, I really didn't like those 2 cables going out there, so I thought I'd clean this up. And the way I'm going to do it, you can do it with dense cable, just like we've got over there. That's no problem to do, but dense cable is quite expensive. There's a much easier and cheaper way with P2P, or point-to-point tunnels. Make sure you craft the ME version, and that will work. And then we want to also craft a memory card. So if you haven't used P2P before, you put one down on the side of a controller. And then you go on the other end and you put them down on the other side of the cable that's running from the controller. So for example, there and there. And what you'll see is, well, it'll go dead. Yeah, got 2 channels. Well, it's going dead because we don't have the connection yet. So let's just connect this up. Okay, and now the main problem here is this doesn't have any power connection. So you connect it up there for power, or you could just do something trivial down here. I'm just going to do something trivial. I'm just going to get some of this cable, some of this quartz fiber, and then just connect this up. So 1, 2. i.e. that's just for a power connection, nothing else. You'll see that's now active. So it's got 3 channels, this P2P tunnel, and 2 up there, 3 on 1 cable. However, it is extending all of the channels of this controller along the entire cable. You can extend all the channels. So it's a one-to-many connection. We can shift right click and we pick up the connection. And then we can right click on these and we can extend it to each of those. So that should now work. All we need to do is reconnect this with black cable again. Once I find it, there it is. No, that's Fluix. There's the black cable, yeah. And we're going to do the same thing with the blue cable. Okay, and then it depends whether we've got energy here or not, whether we need to actually run some more cable around. Are you actually active? Linked output side, yeah, that's on. And these are on, they're all connected. Good. So we have energy, we have the system working, and we have a single cable. Much nicer. You do need to remember to supply power to it somehow, though. Okay, and that's black. Can I just actually just change that back to Fluix? Just because that'll connect to anything now. Fluix, some there, yeah. So let's just make sure that goes in. So all the channels should be the same color. Yeah, it's quite nice. I'll use the black cable just for up there or for other miscellaneous spots. Now that we have that going, we can then decide where we want to put the molecular assemblers. If that's going to be a data center room, then maybe I can build off in one of these 2 directions for something else. We can probably put something under here. Yeah, let me just extend. Don't have enough smart cable. We can do the same thing really with a smart cable. We can run multiple stacks up it. So let's just make some more P2P. It's hard to type 2 on the bottom one for some reason. We want the ME, and they only use engineering processors, so they're very, very cheap and available. So let's get 3. I'm not going to need 3, I'm only need 2, but I've got a spare. And then we'll do the same thing with this. So we want 1 tunnel on the bottom, and then we're going to extend upwards with cable. And then we'll bring that across into flow for the middle. So the middle is right there. And we're going to be coming in this way. So from this way outwards, I'm running out of Fluix cable. We can extend it with the black cable type. I can say I want maybe 1 cluster, one there, and it's going to extend outwards, so we can put it wherever we want. I'm going to need some more. Let me just actually extend this with black for now. Okay, and on the end of those, we're going to put a P2P tunnel. It needs to be on this side of the cable. Yes, it does. On that side, and then we can just grab our memory card. Where is it? There it is. And shift right click. And right click and right click. That should extend them. Then we just need to put our interfaces down. So if we're going to have a stack of 8 here. Okay. And the same thing on this side. Okay. And that is 16 channels should be used, but it shouldn't need any on that side. So we just need to apply some power again. And we can put external power into these cables. We don't need it to come from the controller, but it will actually just do for now. I don't need that second one. Let's just go review and just use this smart cable for now. Okay, and that's working. So 3 of 8 channels. So each of these interfaces should be active or should be available. And then we can just fit in the molecular assemblers around them. I appreciate it's a little bit dark. Do we have a mind divination sigil around? Yes, we do. Wrong place. I actually need that space back. And we will actually complete both of these with 32 around them. But for now, because I can just fill in half a stack of each, I'll just get the system to craft the rest. Okay, so that should now be available to our system. And we should be able to move all the patterns across to each one of them. One more note on interfaces and auto crafting. It's important that if you actually do this and you want them to go even faster, all you need to do is make 2 patterns and put basically 1 pattern in each interface. So they will craft at double speed. But for now, I can just move them. And one slight correction, don't forget to leave an extra space downwards, otherwise you'll connect to these, and you can't let your P2P network connect like a regular cable. You have to go out to one of these tunnels if you're going to use this kind of method to extend 32 channels along a small cable. Okay, so that now works, and I need to just craft more molecular assemblers, but that will do offline. I'll then get all this working. I have transferred all the patterns, so the patterns will basically show up here. If I just change this to craftable, see, all the stuff I can actually craft is there as well. So good, this is all working. We can just put some flooring back in and we're good, I think. So yeah, got this episode done. Got a lot of changes made, and we can just make that quite a bit neater now after this. I think I'll just put this under flooring and stuff like that kind of thing, just so that we can hide it all away and put some ceilings in and stuff like that. But we need lots of more white concrete for that, so I'm going to get that going and maybe put in some color edging. We can do. And again, because we've moved these away from this face, we can just put in walls, etc., and everything will look quite nice. So yeah, quite a big cleanup episode. Everything, hopefully, for those people like me who like everything to be neat and ordered-ish, I do get away with it quite a lot. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, so my AE2 system is now pretty much in its final form. We can extend the storage as much as we want, molecular assemblers as much as we want. We've got more channels than we'd ever use. And yeah, I can even start to hide cables in various walls and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out the Satisfactory game. Not sure that it's going to be any good, but I will try it regardless. And of course, if you don't want to buy it, then you can watch the channel and I will be making a few videos. All right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I will see you next time. If you want to subscribe, share, you can do already. Click on the like button if you want to see that, or bell if you want more notifications about more videos on the channel. And we'll see you next time for some more Project Ozone 3. As always, thanks for watching.